When you get in the teams, any military, but especially special operations, it becomes your identity. It becomes the only thing you do, and it becomes a justification for everything you don't do. Like, why don't you do this? Because it'll affect the end state. When you transition away from it, you never thought it was going to be hard. You thought you were going to transition, you were going to find that same love and passion and energy you had for being in the military. And then when you don't find it, it's a huge fall from grace. But I mean, you hear these fairy tales of this billionaire is going to pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars to live on his ranch and to do nothing but tell war stories and shoot coyotes and whatever. You know, any place you want to go, they'll pick you up because of your background, because of your resume and all these different things. And when you get out, you quickly realize that's all a lie. No one's going to pay you to do a compound assault. No one's going to pay you to skydive. No one's going to pay you to assault a cruise ship or whatever else you did. They don't exist. So I've spent my entire adult life developing a skill set nobody wants. What am I supposed to do now? I don't know how to do anything. You want me to go to Home Depot? Like, what am I supposed to do? I've avoided getting my picture taken for 20 years. I've avoided conversations with normal people. I don't have a Rolodex because I've never opened myself up to anybody who wasn't inside of that 12-man team. I don't have anybody. I don't know the CEO of Apple or Google. I don't know any of these people. There's nothing for me to do except contract. That's it.
Which just keeps you in the same system.
It's the exact same thing. You're with the same people, the same deployment schedules, same routine, and you just chip away until you're too old to do it anymore, and then you just fizzle out.
That must feel to a lot of special operators like they basically can't ever leave.
Exactly. Even the guys who do leave, the majority of them, they're either miserable or they transition to a job that's so similar to the military, it's like they're still in.
What like?
Contracting. Agency work, Blackwater, triple canopy, stuff like that. You're basically doing a very similar job, just you get paid a little bit more. Or the guys just come right back in. We've had guys get out and go to Goldman Sachs and try to reinvent themselves. They make it 6 months, 3 years. Nope, right back in.
No way.
Oh, yeah. They miss it that much.
I mean, Wall Street trading feels a lot. It's probably the closest thing that you can get to war in the finance world. But yeah, if the adrenaline of $1 million movements every couple of seconds on a market isn't good enough for you, you got to get back into something with a bit more of a kinetic energy.
Kinetic energy is what it is. You need something where you have a little bit of risk of dying, right? You've never felt more alive than when you're right on the teetering edge of death. And once you feel that and you survive it, okay, more of that. Whatever that was, I need to feel that again. Didn't matter if it's skydiving, if it's combat, if it's whatever else. You're chasing the adrenaline dump. I need to feel the adrenaline, whatever I'm doing. When you don't feel it.
What does that feel like?
You ever been in like a bad car accident or almost in a bad car accident?
Yes.
When you get done, your hands shake a little bit. Like, oh, I can't believe I made it through that. It's one of those. And then it becomes, of course I made it through that. I've been training to make it through that. And then it's almost like an ego check, like how close can I come or how successful can I be with everything you do? How much can I plan? How much can I dedicate my life to buy down as much risk as humanly possible to be effective on the battlefield? Whatever that battlefield might be.
He's saying that being a soldier, being a special operator is essentially a war equivalent of an extreme sport that people decide to do recreationally.
Exactly. You'd be surprised how many guys do extreme sports, why they're in, or that was what they did when they came in. Like mine was skateboarding. You got guys, Andy was big into skydiving, base jumping, wingsuiting, all of that. How many guys come from the MMA world, ultra competitive worlds, and then we get inside there, it's, okay, well, if I mess this up, there is no bronze medal. If I mess this up, I'm going to die, or worse, you'll die.
Other people too.
Other people die.
How much of a different energy does it give things if you're someone that's an adrenaline junkie that's happy to do dangerous things for yourself, but your decisions and your actions are almost going to put somebody else in danger too? Does that make it more exciting?
When you're putting your friends' lives in danger, that's where it's not exciting. You're trying to buy down as much of that as possible. And it's really what they want you to do is just obsess over your craft to where you can control all the variables because it makes it safer. And that's where a lot of the leadership really don't buy off on that. If you want to make skydiving safer, make it mandatory to skydive more. Like, right, Andy will tell you the same thing. The most dangerous person in the military is a skydiver with 180 jumps that thinks he is a ninja. He's not. If you want to make it safe, have thousands of skydives and jump every single week, jump every single month, and stack those years over years, and then you buy down the majority of the risk. It's the same thing with
Andy said he'd
CTV
done
shooting.
like 3,000, something like that, maybe even more.
Yeah, he's got to have more than that. I'm at 4,000. He's been jumping longer than me.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's how you buy down the risk. You got to do it more. You got to fight more. You got to shoot more. You got to jump more. You got to operate more. So me and him, we had this conversation 2 days ago, and he goes, "Do you think if we limited how much combat people saw, you wouldn't have such a huge fall from grace, anxiety, suicide ideation, all those things when they leave it? If you could compartmentalize them and not let them burn the candle at both ends, do you think that would be better off for them?" I said, absolutely not. They need it. That's how you get really, really good. Could you imagine if I locked you in a room, I never let you play another team, and then you just played on the Super Bowl?
Mm.
But in this Super Bowl, if you lose, you die. That's not very good. I want to play every single day. We're doing 2-a-days the entire time, getting ready to go. Buys down the risk. And it increases your confidence and the confidence of the entire team. That's where you see level 2 unlock, when everybody truly believes that you have covered all your bases. I couldn't burn another rep. I couldn't spend another hour. We're as good as you could humanly be. We're good. We're unstoppable.
How many times have you been on deployment and seen somebody that shouldn't have been there based on expertise or disposition? Andy came through and explained an awful lot about what his selection was like, and then he went back and was the guy with the bullhorn as opposed to facing it. And you think, well, this is supposed to weed out people that aren't supposed to be there. It's incredibly rigorous, but it can't be perfect. It simply can't be perfect because it's unable to replicate what you're actually there to do. So, yeah, have there been any times when you've got out there and thought, that guy's you shouldn't be here with us?
There's definite times where you get people inside the team you wish were not there. You just do. Like, you get there and you're like, man. But it goes back to, I had a mentor. He used to talk about being clonable. Would we be better off if I had 5 of you? If the answer is not yes, then you shouldn't be here at all. I don't even want one of you. So why they might not be the best guy for the job, if you can compare them to all the other guys you've worked with, they're so much better that it doesn't really matter. The group and, the strength of the overall collective is going to make up for whatever deficiency he might have. If it's a cultural thing or a personality trait, those are harder to navigate, believe it or not, because everybody can perform. Like, you're not going to find a guy that can't shoot, move, communicate, skydive, dive, do all the things. He might not be a 10 where this guy is, but he's a solid 8 no matter what. His personality, I just don't like. And nobody else does either.
So I was learning about the way that bands form. I've been thinking a lot about music over the last couple of years. And many times you might have someone that's a savant guitarist or an unbelievable bassist, but they're a shit hang on the tour bus.
Yep.
And what you don't see, I suppose, the job is not finished in the bounds of what you do professionally. It's, well, how do you impact the morale of the team? And what's the energy that you bring when you're on your way to a job and on your way back from a job? And how do the debriefs, and are you keeping in touch when you're not on tour, whether you're a musician or a comedian or a special operator? Like, are you WhatsApping every so often? Are you kind of keeping that connection? And what's the sort of vibe that you get? Or do you just low-key irritate everybody? Or is it just a mismatch of this one particular type of personality? And maybe if you were with a different group, your annoyances wouldn't annoy quite so much. You could have people, there are certain people that are universally annoying, and there are some people that are specifically annoying, like idiosyncratically annoying.
Yep.
But whatever it is, it's like, hey, this particular node doesn't slot into this particular network.
You get that. At a certain level, we do a draft. So when you get to the tier 1 organizations, they draft you. No different to do in football or anything else. They rake you off performance, culture, trust, all those different things. And you might get a guy that checks into your team. He's there for 6 months, 2 years, whatever. It's just not working. Sometimes they will lateral transfer him to a different team. Perfect. Like, his personality is perfect. The cultural doesn't clash, and just everything makes sense for them. You see that, I won't say often, but often enough to where you remember it.
Can you explain how the different tiers and things work? I have an understanding of this from the British side, but I've never really learned it when it comes to...
Very similar.
Okay.
So you think baseline, and everybody will say they are higher tier than they actually are, right? So a lot of people will say that the SEAL teams are tier 2. They're not. It's a tier 3. It's a lot of it's based off your parent unit and your response times to catastrophic things.
Okay, so if you're anywhere on the planet within 36 hours, you're quite high.
Yep. Or sometimes you're on a 30-minute recall. And that's where you live for months throughout the year. 30-minute recall, that page goes off, that text goes off, you're on an airplane in 30 minutes, you got to go.
No fucking way.
Oh, yeah. And anxiety just boosts. But I mean, like, you know, really it isn't much. And I was just talking about this not too long ago. You get more funding, but really what they do is for the tier 1 organizations, they cover all the logistics. They put you inside of Disneyland, all the ranges, all the assets, all the intelligence folks, the human performance, the best gyms, everything you could imagine is inside of a compound. They stick you inside it and they try to lock you inside it. Just come here and only focus on the craft, because as soon as we tell you to go, you're going to have to go at 100%. Go, get ready to go. The other ones, it's a very similar workup routine. It'll be a year, 2 years long sometimes, and then you'll forward deploy, do operations for X amount of months, 3, 6, 9, 12, whatever the unit deployment cycle is. You come back, rinse and repeat. In tier 1 organizations, it's just a constant revolution over and over and over again. It's amazing.
How long were you doing that?
I joined the Navy in 2002 and I retired in August of 2019. So right at 17 years.
And how long?
Tier 1 side, 2010 till 2019.
So you did 9 years of being on call within 30 minutes, basically.
Not the entire time, but every year you spend a significant block of that on the alert schedule.
Right.
It's amazing.
Why?
Because you matter. Like, you wake up every day, you're watching the news, you're hearing all the intel briefs, and you have a dude stuck up in your locker, up in the team room, that you're actively just hunting with your friends all day long, and you're just waiting for some dude to send out a text, and you're going to go, yes. So, have little code words with the wife, like going fishing with the boys. Where are you going fishing at? I have no idea. Take off and go. That is the coolest thing you can do in the military.
Why?
Because it's just like in the movies. You've seen the greatest war movie ever made, Navy SEALs. In the middle of that wedding. That's what everybody wants. I want to be in the middle of that. The pager goes off. Got to go. Right now. Leave.
And 3 people from the party leave.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure, but it gives you a reason why. On those days you don't want to get up, you're going to get up. The team deserves it. The mission deserves it. The nation deserves it. Get up and go. And now that I'm out, I get to see these savants throughout their craft. I got to go down and talk to Houston Rockets, Kevin Durant's over there, and you get 4 gold medals. I mean, one of the greatest, is the greatest scorer in Olympic basketball history. And you get to see what they do day in and day out. The Steph Currys of the world, the LeBron James, Michael Phelps, Tiger Woods, all those people.
Do you see parallels between what was constructed for you guys and what is constructed for them too?
They just self-made it. They live in isolation. They broke out a routine that just super exceeds everybody else's minimum standard because nobody else can maintain it. So if I dropped Steph Curry on that table right there, and I was like, walk me through a typical day in the life of Steph Curry. He's got a minimum shot routine. He's got his warm-ups, his workouts, his massage therapy, the cold plunges, like whatever he does, he just does it unbroken for so much longer than everybody else. That's why he's able to hit that level and maintain it for a 20-year career, where the average lifespan of NBA guys, 4.5 years? Coming up on 20. It's not a fluke. That's not luck. And it's not genetics. Yeah, like at a certain point, like people want to say, like, must be nice. There ain't nothing nice about his schedule. Nothing. He's been living that unbroken. That's why you know his name. But I also say, like Michael Phelps, he's a freak. He's a freak. Genetically gifted, for sure. His discipline is why he has all those gold medals. If I would have given him a baseball bat at 8 years old and never put him in a swimming pool, you'd still know the name. That's why you see when they transition out, you're like, Michael golfing. He's an amazing golfer. Just imagine if he was doing it since he was 4. He'd be Tiger Woods. The work ethic, the discipline, and the passion it takes to hit that level, it's a universal.